Police partner hunters as 3 abducted in Oshun. 50 million naira demanded. Is right there as well. Still talking fuel. Senate summons NNPC again. Cites non-remittance of 4.07 trillion naira. NIN. Telcos lose 11.8 million subscribers in 4 months. That's on the Punch as well. Presidency tackles Atiku over Nigeria's failed state comment. Kogi still missing as Nigeria's vaccination rises to 513,626. It's right there on the Punch as well. Okorocha, monarch in verbal war on ex-governor's ordeal aboard aircraft. And there's also family kicks over planned handover of mentally ill woman's baby to Lagos couple. That's another. Most Nigerian airports not viable, says Senate committee. Insecurity, government doesn't know what to do. That's according to the Christian Association of Nigeria. Is on the Punch this morning to look out for. The Guardian, police arrive Benue to probe attempt on Governor Otom. That's on The Guardian. Can protests praise against kidnapping, killings in Kaduna. Also on The Guardian, opposition swells over $1.5 billion refinery rehabilitation, 120 billion naira monthly subsidy. That's on The Guardian. Federal government decries wasting $600 million investment, vows to revive moribund oil, gas projects. That's on The Guardian as well this morning. Lagos PDP won Sanwo-Olu against plan to shelve council polls. Also on The Guardian. Still talking politics. Plateau PDP, APC lock-ons over 59 billion naira terminated contract. That you will find on The Guardian as well. The Tribune, they have the latest COVID numbers as reported by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. Is actually also on the Premium Times this morning. The Tribune says Nigeria records 104 new COVID-19 infections. Total now 162,593. Resident doctors. Okay, that's on the Tribune. It's actually on many of the dailies. It says resident doctors declare total an indefinite strike to begin from April 1st. That's on the Tribune this morning. Abba Kyari-led Special Police Task Force arrives Benue to investigate attack on Governor Otom. It's also on the Tribune. There are some others to look out for on the Tribune. Troops neutralize 48 Boko Haram terrorists. Rescue kidnapped victims. That's right there on the Tribune as well. The pen-pushing newspapers with some of these headlines as well. Says, no-nonsense police investigator Abba Kyari leads team to unveil criminals behind Governor Otom murder attempt. There's also police nab 35-year-old woman for killing own one-month-old baby. That's on the pen-pushing newspapers as well. That's very interesting. It says new Babalero of Nigerian soccer emerges. Is also there. And then there is a very sad development. Former Nigeria Football Federation Technical Director Kashima Olaloko is dead. That's on the pen-pushing newspapers as well this morning. The Premium Times with the latest COVID update arrived there. Special police team arrives Benue to investigate attack on Governor Otom. Atiku reiterates call for privatization of NNPC refineries. Lagos, Akwa Ibom, Rivers to spend more than 15 other states combined in 2021. There's 16 suspects arrested over attacks on police officers' facilities. That's on the Premium Times this morning. Those are a lot of the headlines to look out for this morning. But we'll take a very quick break. And when we return, we'll get talking this morning. Please don't go anywhere.
Hello, good afternoon. How may I help you, please?
Yes, I would like to buy data to watch plenty videos. You know now, music, sports, in short, everything on YouTube.
What is your budget, sir?
As low as possible.
Well, how does 50 naira for an hour sound?
50 naira for 1 hour? Ha! Talk true!
Yes, with Glow YouTube plan, you can stream all your favorite YouTube videos for as low as 50 naira.
Hey, what do I do?
Simply dial star 777 hash to get started.
Get the super affordable YouTube time-based plans from Glow and start feasting on your favorite YouTube videos for as low as 50 naira for 1 hour during the day and 50 naira for 5 hours at night. Dial star 777 hash, select data, select social bundle, and select YouTube to choose the Glow YouTube plan that's just right for you.
Glow Unlimited.
Thank you for staying with us this Monday morning, freshly pressed on Fresh 107.9 FM Abeokuta. Let's get talking now. As far as some of these headlines are concerned, Mr. Aribam Shoyinka is with me this morning on the program. The Punch, as this story says, daily fuel consumption hit 72.72 million litres. Marketers blame smuggling. It's right there. To look out for. There are a number of riders that come with that story. Petrol usage jumped from 57.44 million litres in November to 72.72 million in December. Independent marketers berate security agencies, say fuel trucks not needle. Petrol supply by the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation hit a high of 72.72 million litres daily in December amid the smuggling of the product to neighboring countries. The supply of petrol by the NNPC, which is the sole importer of the product into the country, has risen above the pre-COVID-19 levels, crossing 70 million litres daily in the fourth quarter of last year. The corporation said last Thursday that 2.25 billion litres of petrol were sold and distributed in December. This translates to 72.72 million litres per day compared to 57.44 million litres in November. It said 2.26 billion litres of petrol products were sold and distributed by its subsidiary PPMC in December compared to 1.72 litres in November. In June last year, the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Mele Kyari, at an interactive hearing organized by the Joint Senate Committee on Petroleum Resources, that's the upstream and downstream, said petrol was being smuggled out of Nigeria to neighboring countries. He said, "We don't know how much petroleum products we consume daily in this country, but we know how much of the product that is taken out of depot. This year, around 54 million litres of petrol products are evacuated from the depot, but the consumption is somewhere below that." The NNPC has no knowledge of the amount of products that are transported through Nigeria borders to neighboring countries. It is impossible to know. Nobody declares it, and therefore, as it crosses, it goes. Well, the chairman of the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, Adetunji Oyebanji, in a telephone interview, noted that the NNPC itself had said recently that about 30% of the country's petrol supply was going to neighboring countries. He attributed this to the substantial difference between the price in Nigeria and the prices in the neighboring countries. In effect, we are subsidizing petrol prices in those countries. If over there, petrol is being sold between maybe 300 and 500 per litre, and you still are selling yours at 160, it means for anybody that can get any quantity across, it will be making 150 naira per litre. That incentive is too much. It will always be attractive for people to do that. In all those countries, they are paying the real price of fuel, unlike in Nigeria where the price is being subsidized. He said the money being spent on subsidy should be used to invest in infrastructure, health and education, among others. Adding labor should be clamoring for subsidy removal. The National Operations Controller of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Mike Osatu, he said if Nigeria's petrol price was at par with those of the neighboring countries, smuggling would not be attractive to both people who are taking it out and those allowing it to go out. It calls to question if Nigeria is consuming up to 70 million litres of petrol per day. A tanker of petrol is not a needle that you can put in your pocket and just walk across the border. So if at all a truck is going out, who is allowing it to go out? We have more than 5 security agencies at the borders. That's a very interesting question he asked. Well, there's some more other reactions. questioning how it is possible that there's a lot of petrol going out of the country, and talking about some of the things we need to do to reduce the amount of petrol going out. They're saying that the price here is an incentive, saying if you get fuel for about 162 naira per litre here and you move it out and you're selling it for between 300 and 500, that sounds like good business. And apparently we know a lot of things that happen at the borders, so as regards the question of whether a tanker is needed, well, we know what's going on. But just before I get your thoughts on that, opposition swells over $1.5 billion refinery rehabilitation, a 120 billion naira monthly subsidy. That's on The Guardian. There are a number of riders. Port Harcourt refineries generated zero revenue in 2019. Says TAM a financial mess. That's Atedo Peter side. Article wants NNPC refineries, others privatized. Ijaw Youth Council backs NLC against fuel price increment, urges federal government to license local refineries. That's on The Guardian this morning. It's the same conversations, the same advice to government, the same calls, the same clamor. Questions: who's listening? Are they listening? Those are big questions. As far as the Port Harcourt refinery is concerned, yes, there's a lot of opposition, but I guess government's mind is made up as far as that. They've been offering a lot of explanations. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources he's been talking a lot, offering explanations, and explaining to Nigerians also about the subsidy, the need for the removal, and so many things.
I think first and foremost, for the privatization from Atiku, and I don't think we should privatize the NNPC, the refineries. These are government properties that the government, if they so will, is about determination, is about commitment to your own thing. It's a thing they can do. It's not about this government.
But they've not done it over time.
Yeah, it's about the previous governments who have failed to do that too. So I'm not blaming this government for that, but I think it's not an issue of privatization now.
But if we've seen over time that government is not doing it well or will not do it well, wouldn't it be logical to?
But who are those that will get it? It will still be their cronies. It will be the cronies of people in power. So if we are privatizing, are we selling it to honest people who will manage it well? What will be the gain of Nigerians in the long run? Will it be beneficial to Nigerians, or will it just be another way of stealing our funds? So it's not just about privatizing, but who are the people? Timmy Presiva, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, was talking on a TV channel, and he was mentioning that after the refurbishment or repair of the refinery, they will give it to a maintenance company. Yes, to maintain and operate and maintain it. And I asked him that day that I was watching, and I asked in my mind, who are those who is fronting, or who is of that Italian company? Are they not your cronies? What would be the because we've seen it in the past that these things fall into the hands of their cronies of people in power. So what would be the benefit to Nigerians even if they maintain it? So that's about issue of privatization of our refineries. It is a no for me. On the issue of probably the petroleum is being taken to other countries, I think it's the NNPC. I want to support the claim, the advocacy by people that the NNPC should be probed. From past wherever since there is a citizen, they should probe that NNPC. Is a loophole, is a pipe for consuming. In my own view, is a pipe where I think they take our funds away. The NNPC should be probed. Why would Mele Kyari tell me he doesn't know how fuel, the number of fuel consumption we consume in Nigeria? They should have a record. These things should be there. They should work with other PPRA or whatever. You should work with other agencies in the petroleum sector to know that, to fix that loophole. This is a loophole. This is a slap on the face of the group manager of NNPC. A slap on NNPC and the federal government. These are things we should know. We should have a record. If you say you want to sell fuel 300 naira because they are selling it in other countries 300 naira, do they have the product there? This is our own product. Well, if you want to remove subsidy, you've been telling us you want to remove subsidy, and that's why we've been seeing increase in price almost every year, because you said you want to remove subsidy. What have you not finished removing the subsidy? They should let us know. If they want to take it to 200, we should let them take it to 200, and we know that subsidy, we will not hear of subsidy again. They should tell us what they want to do. I think the government is just being deceitful about this issue of petroleum resources in this country.
Well, the preponderance of comments talking about the refineries, there are some that believe that spending another $1.5 billion on the Port Harcourt refinery might amount to a waste of funds, considering how long we've kept trying to revive these refineries. That ends the calls for the privatization or the calls for the total sale. For them, the likes of Atedo Peter side, you've also had Atiku Abubakar sometimes talk about it. That particular report is on the Punch. Is it the Punch now or the Premium Times? With that report about Atiku insisting that Atiku reiterates call for privatization of NNPC refineries. That's on the Premium Times.
I think the timing of the repair of the refineries was making people.
There's some who talking about elections
something bad about it. The timing is wrong. It should have been done at the first time of Muhammad Buhari's administration. It should not have been now, because now we are heading to election. It may be people. I also feel the same too. That maybe it's another way of amassing money for the 2023 elections.
But we'll just see. We'll have to wait and see. 18 months, that's when the first phase is supposed to be completed.
Towards 2023.
Then we will. I totally understand where a number of you are coming from, but there are some who share this very interesting optimism as to whether it will be done really, but we'll see how it goes. The majority of the dailies are with a report about the team that is set to look into the attempt on the Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom. It says Abba Kyari led special police task force arrives Benue to investigate attack on Governor Ortom. A special investigation task force set up by the IGP Mohammed Abubakar Adamu in continuation of the ongoing investigation into the reported attack and attempted murder of Governor of Benue State Samuel Ortom has arrived at Makurdi in Benue State capital. This was contained in a statement made available to newsmen in Abuja on Sunday by the first PRO, Frank Umba. According to the statement, the team, led by Deputy Commissioner of Police DCP Abba Kyari, consists of operatives from the Tactical Investigation Units of the First Intelligence Bureau and other experienced crack detectives with specialized competencies in crime scene investigation and reconstruction, ballistics, fingerprint analysis, and other core areas of forensics. The statement said the team is expected to take over and consolidate all ongoing investigation into the incident. The rest of that is on the Tribune. It's right there on the Pen Pushing newspapers as well. I love the headline from the Pen Pushing newspapers. Says no nonsense police investigator Abba Kyari leads team to unveil criminals behind Governor Ortom murder attempt. It's right there. It's on many of the dailies this morning, because the opinion is that there is the need to fish out those that perpetrated the attempt on the governor's life, because for some, the belief is that if they are let to go scot-free, it could embolden them to go after other political leaders. But what we've seen over time is criminals already emboldened to go after ordinary people, for example. There's a situation in Kaduna, for example, where there are still students missing, about 39 of them.
Yes.
There were 8 that were kidnapped on Friday night, and we see this things
another one yesterday too as well.
We see these things continue to happen.
This is because this is prominent. They are sending Kyari to a crack team as a way to unravel those behind the attack. Yes, it's good if the government will also do this for ordinary Nigerians. We've had issues in Kaduna. Our students are still there. Some members of a church are still in captivity. Who are the crack team that is after that? We've not heard anything. One of the fathers of the students suffered that attack and died. Who are those on the tail of those people? Who are the crack team sent to go and rescue those ones? Nobody. But because Benue State Governor, yes, is a prominent person. Yes, it is expected. But I think we should not limit it to the politicians alone, to the prominent people alone. We should also know that the life of every Nigerian is what every effort you devote into it. We've seen instances where the U.S. Army came in the middle of the night to come and rescue one of their own here in Nigeria. That is how valuable they attach, how the value, the height of value they attach to human life in such a country. I think we should do same here too in Nigeria. We should not just leave it because the politician, Benue State government, the politician is a governor. Yes, it's good. it's good that you're doing it, but we should not limit it. We should also let it affect ordinary Nigerians too. But by and large, I think they sending Kyari to come and unravel those behind the attack on Autumn. We also send a signal to those people, to the attackers, that the government is ready to come out for them. It's a good one, that the government is ready to come out for them. And I think we should just nip it in the bud once and for all. We should not let these things escalate.
Well, speaking of attacks, police partner hunters has 3 abducted in Osun. 50 million naira demanded. That's on some of the dailies this morning as well. Insecurity, government doesn't know what to do, says Khan. Is rather the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Shukwa Ayokunle, has again lamented increasing insecurity in the country, saying government does not know what to do again. The president of Khan spoke on Sunday during a Thanksgiving service in honor of Bishop Wale Oke. As the newly elected president of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria said, the association convinced Christians not to fight back in spite of increasing attacks on them. Ayokunle, who said Oke's appointment at this auspicious time demanded courage, prayer, and fear of God, said he faulted the Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak on the use of hijab. Well, he told the governor that his actions suggested that it was fueling tension and acrimony, which could result in bloodshed between religions in the state. Well, you can find out the rest of what he said. Government doesn't know what to do, says Khan. Is on the Punch. That's almost the same position the Northern Elders Forum held during that. The spokesperson was on a TV program last week. Mr. Gabashew did not agree.
Government lack thinking capacity.
Mr. Gabashew did not agree. Presidency tackles Atiku over Nigeria's failed state comment. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has expressed fear about some economic indices suggesting that the country is slipping into a failed state. Now, Atiku contested the 2019 presidential election on the platform of the PDP, said this in a statement in Abuja on Sunday. The statement signed by him, titled World's Highest Unemployment Rate, Time to Help This Government Help Nigeria. Atiku lamented that his earlier warnings of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari were ignored. He said, in a situation where we are simultaneously the world headquarters for extreme poverty, the world capital for out-of-school children, and the nation with the highest unemployment rate on earth, there's a very real and present danger that we might slip into the failed states index. He says, God forbid, though. He attributed the cause of the nation's current predicament to the decision by the APC to abandon the people-centered leadership and free trade and regulatory policies of former President Olusegun Obasanjo's administration. Atiku said the country at that time was maintaining an almost single-digit unemployment rate. He said the Buhari administration was now implementing discredit, command, and control policies that had led to massive capital flight from Nigeria. He urged the administration to ensure that all children of school age were encouraged to be in school by paying parents earning less than $800 per annum a monthly stipend of 5,000 naira. If we can get the 13.5 million out of school Nigerian children into school, we will turn the corner in our generation. His words. Meanwhile, the special advisor to the President of Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says about 30 million Nigerians were unemployed before Buhari took over office. Adesina said the recent report released by the National Bureau of Statistics that 23.2 million Nigerians were unemployed was not new. The president's spokesman said this on Sunday's Channel Television Sunday Politics. Responding to a question, Adesina said, you will recall that in the build-up to the 2015 elections when the APC was campaigning, the figure that was used by then-candidate Buhari was that a minimum of 30 million Nigerians were unemployed, particularly youths, and that his government was going to do something about it. That was in 2014-15. So don't make it appear like a genie that just came out of the bottle. No, it had always... Okay, like a genie that just came out of the bottle. Sorry about that. No, it had always been there. It had always been there. Additionally, also lambasted former Vice President Atiku Abubakar for calling on the president to improve. The former Vice President was in power for 8 years. Now he's in the opposition. You can't take whatever he says as the gospel. The question is, when former Vice President Atiku Abubakar was in government with President Obasanjo, where did they take the country? His question. It's a long read. It's on the Punch. It's all politics apparently. But
Obvious.
then there are obvious issues that need tackling. Presidency tackles Atiku over Nigeria's failed state comment. Because of the source of the criticism, it is expected that it will be termed as all political talks, especially considering that he was a direct opponent at the last election, and from every suggestion he might be contesting again. So you don't understand. But then some of the issues he raised are critical issues that government needs to look into. But of course, government's defense, what they will always say is he was there as well. What did he do? The unemployment situation is not entirely new. Although Mr. Adesina acknowledged that they said they were going to do something about it. Question is, have they?
Have they? Yeah, I think the it's still. I saw the program yesterday, and even a former member of the House of Reps was saying that Atiku was speaking out of anger and malice. That he was there for how many years? I think 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah, as vice president. What did he do? But I think I want to remind them that the country was not as bad as this then. I'm not a fan of Atiku, but the country was not as bad as this. But notwithstanding, the Buhari government promised us a better life in 2015, and we are yet to see it. So it calls for question. It calls for this reasoning as what Atiku is saying, that Nigeria is near a failed state, because it is obvious to everybody. We were only dealing with Boko Haram terrorists. Now we see kidnapping almost every day. Nowhere is safe in this country. Nowhere is safe. When you're traveling, you have to start praying to God to take until you get to your destination. That's when you know you are safe a bit. That's when you're. So the country was not as bad as this. So security-wise, this government has failed. Yes, there have been people, there are some former governors that have been saying here, it didn't start with this government. Yes, it didn't start with it, but it was not as bad as this. But he promised to fix it, and we have not seen it. So if Atiku is coming out, Atiku too, there's nothing new about Atiku. I think just wants to be relevant as well, because he also, as a member, as a former vice president, you should go the extra mile to give them advice. But I heard
that's what he's saying now.
Yeah,
they're saying
they don't take his advice.
He's saying it's the time to help this government, to help Nigeria.
Will they take his advice?
Well, has that always been a practice in this part of the world? The opposition advising those in power, and those in power accepting their advice. Has that always been a practice? If the tables were turned, if he was in power and they were advised by the opposition, would they listen? That has to be the.
I think that's the problem with our leadership. It's the problem with our leadership, and Nigerians just need to think. We should put people that are responsible. I'm sorry to use that word, but that are responsible, that will be responsive to our yearnings, to our desires, to our clamor. Those are the kind of people we need in leadership. A former vice president advising you are not taking. He said his advice should be taken like as a pinch of salt. He tells how much this government.
No, is it his advice or his criticism? Because
look, out of criticism, there will be a bit of advice. There's no way someone will criticize you and you won't see something. The person who's not criticizing you on lies is criticizing your what is on ground. I think you should just act according to what he has criticized you on. If I say the security is bad, I think a good government should say, okay, where are the loopholes? Where is it that we are failing in terms of security? Then we should fix it. That's what they should do, not just discarding the criticism, discarding the advice. I've always said on this platform that a government that hates criticism will not grow. That is just the basic.
We'll take a very quick break. There's some others to look out for. Drop your contributions via all social media platforms. We're glad to hear from you this morning. We'll talk to you about the phone lines definitely much later, and don't go anywhere.
So, then don't that gidigba brekete for Abeokuta Ogun State. Their name na Shoba Services Nigeria Limited. They be on kata for clearing and forwarding agency to send anything to anywhere in Nigeria or to abroad. Relax. Shoba Services Nigeria Limited will help you send them to anywhere. Local and international delivery like letter, document, and parcel. Not be only this one be their job. They sabi about all this one as well. Yeah, and safe ride, yeah, ticketing, insurance. Shoba Services Nigeria Limited. Go meet them for their office today.
Where day number 47 Olusegun Oshoba Road, Okelewo, Abeokuta.
Their WhatsApp number be 0818-900-8976. Telephone line 0802-387-5069 and 0818-900-8912. Website www.showoba.com.ng. On social media, Showoba Services Nigeria Limited. Email sowkltd@yahoo.co.uk. Showoba Services Nigeria Limited. Let una go meet them today.
For area, then they call me Baba 22. If you look my JC, number 22. My keke plate number encore 22. My house number, of course. I dey cack for number 22. Walale. But you sabi wetin really make them they call me Baba 22? Now because I dey groove 22 times bonus on top every recharge.
Yes, so if you don't take when you use your glow line, reactivate now, make you begin enjoy your own Ogboge 22 times bonus on top every recharge. It dey pay to reactivate your glow line.
Glow Unlimited.
Thank you for staying with us till Freshly Pressed this Monday morning on Fresh 107.9 FM Abeokuta. There are some other headlines to look out for this morning. It says NIN telcos lose 11.8 million subscribers in 4 months. That's according to latest industry statistics from the Nigeria Communications Commission. The recent report shows that telecom operators in the country recorded yet another loss of 4.13 million active subscribers in February 2021. As industry recorded 195.73 million GSM users in the month. The telcos had lost 46,648 subscribers in November 2020, followed by 3.38 million in December, and then 4.29 in January 2021. The 4 major telecom service providers also recorded zero porting activities following the NCC's directive in December for the telcos to suspend sales, registration, and activation of new SIM cards, hindering porting activities as well. Well, you can get the breakdown of the figures for the various telecom providers. It's right there. Telcos lose 11.8 million subscribers in 4 months. I know that. I hope you remember that the NIN SIM linkage is still very much ongoing. I know a number of Nigerians began to take it less seriously once there was a very long extension, so to speak.
There's even a cut order pushing it forward again.
Exactly. I think by 2 months or thereabout. I hope you've gotten it done, though. These days, they're not the usual queue that we used to have then, so you might as well just find time to go get it done. It's right there on the point. The Guardian also with the report to look out for. The Tribune says resident doctors declare total and indefinite strike to begin April 1st. The National Association of Resident Doctors will begin what it called a total and indefinite strike on Thursday, April 1st, except federal government moves swiftly to stop the industrial action. Already, the National Executive Council of NAD had unanimously agreed to proceed on the strike by Thursday if their demands are not met. The decision to go on strike was made after an extraordinary NEC meeting held on Saturday at the Trauma Center National Hospital, Abuja. The NEC said that the earlier ultimatum given to federal government during the January 21 NEC meeting in Owerri will expire by 12 midnight on the 31st of March with no significant achievement. The NEC reiterated their full support for central placement of house officers. Nevertheless, they decried the agony their members have been made to pass through for 3 months without salaries, despite uninterrupted service delivery to the nation. Well, you can. So it's a very tiny document I'm looking at here. Well, they're saying that a number of issues that they raised, and they had given federal government an ultimatum of March the 31st that nothing has been done since then. And they're saying if government doesn't act swiftly in the next couple of days, that's in about 2 days, they'll be going on a total and indefinite strike on the 1st of April. It's right there on the Tribune to look out for this morning. It's actually on some of the other dailies as well this morning. NAD resident doctors to begin strike April 1st. Resident doctors declare total indefinite strike to begin from April 1st is on the Tribune this morning. Well, is the situation is what we've seen over and over. Meetings, promises not being met. Just last week, the minister was talking about ASU, for example, ruling out that they would go on another strike, saying, well, they're making efforts to meet their demands. That's an indication that apparently demands have not been met.
That's the only language the government
exactly strike, and you won't blame workers from any sector,
obviously,
if they decide to speak the language government understands.
Sure. It is expected. If you don't do these are people that generate the funds. They are the ones that are in the front line. So you give them what they want. You just don't take them with like a pinch of salt. I understand that some of the I think about 17 of the resident doctors, died of COVID-19, according to reports. I think I saw it yesterday.
Yeah,
yes. So these are people in the front line. I'm sorry to say this on air, but it's been an issue with me. But we see vaccines have been around in the country, but all I've seen is our politicians taking it first. These things were meant for frontline.
A lot of frontline health workers have taken it.
Yeah, but in Lagos, I understand that last week, one of the nurses, I think they
were saying they were not carried along as an association. It didn't mean nurses had not taken it. But
I think many of them have taken it. I think that these are people we should prioritize. These are people. The vaccines were meant for front. When I was filling the vaccine registration thing online too, they asked me, "Are you a frontliner?" Yes, and I said no. I think so. They gave them priority even in the distribution of the vaccine. So these are things we should see. We should not see politicians taking pictures with it on social media, telling us they've taken the vaccine. We should see.
Isn't that to encourage people? Isn't that the idea of that?
I think it's been abused now. It's been abused now. But we should just focus on the frontliners. The resident doctors that are going on strike, if they want to go on strike, let them go on strike. If that's the only language the government will hear, let them go. Because it is obvious that the government does not take our health serious. These are people that are in charge of lives. They are the one taking care of you. When COVID-19 came, no country they couldn't fly to any country. Now the thing is easing gradually. You're not taking them for granted. I think they should go on strike if they want to go on strike.
Resident doctors declare total and definite strike to begin from April 1st. Is on a lot of the dailies this morning. The latest COVID numbers is on the Tribune, the Premium Times. 104 new cases as reported by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. A very sad passing of the former NFF Technical Director, Kashima Olaloko, is on many of the dailies. Former NFF Technical Director, Kashima Olaloko, is dead. Is on the pen pushing newspapers. Is right there on the Premium Times as well. Is on many of the dailies. This morning. Well, let's get to hear from you because of time. I hear we might be leaving some minutes out of schedule. But at Fresh FM Abeokuta on Twitter, that's the number to call: 0815-432-1079, 0815-432-1079, 0818-111-1079, 0818-111-1079. Tell us your name, where you're calling from. Let's just get straight to the point this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, you'd have to try again. 0815-432-1079, 0818-111-1079. Appears some of the calls are dropping. Let's hope we're lucky with this. Good morning.
Good night, my name.
Good morning to you.
I'm calling from Iriakali in the morning.
All right, talk to
the issue of this government economically. They don't have the economic, do the economic piece. Because we see from the beginning of this, even at the end of the Obasanjo regime, they have been saying we need to privatize our this business that government developed.
Hello? Wow. Hello? I don't know. The connection appears not to be the smoothest this morning. I see a number of your calls coming in and dropping, but keep trying, please. 0815-432-1079, 0818-111-1079. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Wale.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Honorable Larry Gaji. I'm still calling from the People's Parliament here in Abeokuta.
All right, talk to
Wale, I don't want us to throw away what you said, finally. Don't throw away the baby with the big, with the water.
The bathwater.
Just... let us get some things that will be able to help this government. We are looking for a very good, opposition that will be able to allow the government to really stand on their feet and can do a lot of corrections. Take some points that are very relevant that are going to help the people of this country from what it says. That this government can stand on their feet and make sure they do the needful for the people of this country. But God bless you. Let me allow that.
All right. Thank you. Hello, good morning. Hello? I don't know. Hello, good morning. Hopefully we can. Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning.
I'm from Abeokuta. I greet guests. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
My take this morning goes to the admonition of Atiku. I think Atiku is qualified to give orders or probably to give
advice.
Advice. Thank you. And
hello. I don't know. It's just hello. Wow. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Wale.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother in the house. My name is Frank Olmi. I'm calling from Abeokuta. I believe that all your assertions are correct. I suspect the clandestine move to finance 2023 election, because if they really have a plan to soften the problem of the people, then they should have truly liberalized the downstream sector by allowing other people to do import.
You know,
and they want by allowing other people, other companies to do imports other than NMPC, if they truly want to deregulate. And then there is nothing that says that the South should continue to bear the cost of the North. Cost of petroleum up north, since you refuse to build rail that will take it cheaper to up north, should not be the same by force with those down south. So you are transporting from south to the north. So why don't you just liberalize, allow people to build refineries? Those militants who are refining like they refine Ogogoro. So what's the big deal in building refineries? States should build refineries, and then crude should be given to them. Then you cannot even do exchange with crude to your foreign refineries that you own by yourself when you refuse to do our own. It's a cash cow. They want to keep money for 2023. God will save us from this.
All right. Thank you very much. And it's just that I don't know, and it just tells you the level of distrust that we continue to talk about level of distrust between government and the governed. It's a situation where government is saying we want to do this, and the government is saying don't trust them.
The timing is wrong. That's one. And even the vice president
mentioned. Are you sure if it was done a lot earlier, we wouldn't still have this?
If it was done in the second year of Buhari, I think 2016 or 2017, it would have been a lot better. Even the vice president, Yemi Osinbajo, mentioned the issue of modular refinery. He supported it. Like Paul Oni said, we had issues where Niger Delta militants had modular refineries. So refining oil.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Lawal. I'm calling from Abeokuta.
Good morning, Mr. Lawal.
I want to talk about the refinery.
Go ahead.
For me, I don't care whoever that buys the refinery. Privatization is not the best option for us. It should be outrightly failed. They should outrightly sell the refinery out. And I don't care whoever that buys the refinery. In as much as we have competitive markets when that refinery take over. Because if during the Obasanjo regime, at the tail end of his regime, he sold those refineries. Like NNPC, Pengasan, Nupeng, they all down tools because they believe they want to sell that refinery and they want to lead them off. Today, if that refinery is in the hands of the private sector, then we are going to get the best of, and we're going to have petroleum at our door, rather than to just be importing, and we are just wasting money. The Dangote refinery is coming on board. Which refinery is going to compete with it? And the company Dangote will now become a monopoly in the market.
Is it? All right, thank you. But it's not the individual's fault that he has the funds today. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Wale.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank God. The last, Nigeria forget easily. The last caller, Solomon is my name. The last caller remind us what happened during the end of the tenure of Baba Obasanjo, and Yaradua take us 100 years backward. And by the way, and I want to ask, you remember those who are praying that the refinery should be so? They say Nepal, we know what's in the apple. That's one aside. Wale, I want to thank your station for educating us and giving us information. Most especially, your station in Abeokuta and Fresh FM Ibadan. Kudos to your station. I listened to one of your colleagues on Saturday, between 10 and 12. Fresh FM Ibadan, those who are clamoring for Yoruba, láàrin ara wọn wọ́n ti ń bára wọn jà Yoruba nation. Àti ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ o.
All right, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We do our bit. Anyway, moving on this morning, Shegun Bogi says, I think Atiku Abubakar is objective in his criticism. We may take the message and forget the messenger. This government has lost it completely on economy. Rehabilitation of just one refinery at such heavy cost is unimaginable. Akorede Camille says, honestly, it pisses me off when I hear NNPC officials talk about subsidy. Nigerians endured increment of pump price from 97 to 140 because of subsidy removal when this government was popular. Now at 175, we still talk about subsidy. He says all I see is lies and deceit. S.A. Lawal says none of these present crop of political leaders have think good of we common Nigerians, article inclusive. My dear fellow poor Nigerians, 2023 is another golden chance for us to make a good and reasonable decision for once. Vote individuals, not party. Olakomi Lanre says federal government should continue to pay for subsidy on PMS until our refineries are fixed. Palliative measures can never make life more meaningful to the people. Aji Atiku contributes to the present state of the country. He sacked a substantial number of his workers recently. Akorede Camille, I'm not a fan of Atiku, just like the guest in the studio has said, but the reality is here staring at us. That is why APC government is failing, because it lacks capacity to accommodate constructive criticism. Ayomide Adesina says Atiku may not have the credit to talk on what's going on in Nigeria because he was part of those who caused the problem. But did Femi Adesina and his boss not see this before promising heaven on earth in 2014? Mr. Femi is running the wrong cause. They should stop being inactive. Does it even require an Atiku for the government to know that the nation is at an edge? I've stopped imagining how much economic pains the impending fuel price hike will bring to the already pauperized common masses. What could be more deceitful than living in denial of the obvious? That's Edwin Abayomi on Twitter this morning. I think that's as much as we'll take this morning because of our time. Mr. Abraham Shenka, thank you for being a part of the program.
Thank you for having me again. Thank you.
Many thanks to you for investing your time with us. Wish you a blessed week. Good morning.
From the rock city of Nigeria. Rock city of Nigeria. This is Fresh 107.9.
ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí ń bí gbogbo tẹ́ ẹ ti ń gbọ́ wa ṣàlàáfíà ni o àlàáfíà wo sì ní di fíafíà ó dà ilé iṣẹ́ kan bẹ pẹ̀lú mi níbí Avis Specialty ni wọ́n ń jẹ́ aṣojú wọn ń bẹ ń bí yìí o ẹ bá mi káwọn èèyàn wa.
ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí gbogbo wa o orúkọ tèmi ni Ayọ̀dèjì Ògúnṣọlá láti Avis Specialty àjọ tó gba òǹtẹ̀ ìjọba nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà.
nílé iṣẹ́ Avis Specialty kí ni nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ ní fáwọn èèyàn gan.
ilé iṣẹ́ Avis Specialty wọn ò fẹ́ kí àwọn ènìyàn máa fi òní kú fọlá dìde torí la ṣe gbé ètò yìí kalẹ̀ fún àwọn ènìyàn láti fi lè jẹ àǹfààní ìlera tó péye.
ètò wo lẹ gbé kalẹ̀?
a ti yan àwọn ọjọ́ kan láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ tí a máa fi jẹ́ káwọn ènìyàn jàǹfààní ètò ìlera yìí